Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So, we want to wish today a happy Father's Day to
Father's Day.
all the fathers in the US and in Canada, because today we are celebrating Happy Father's Day. And I hope you have a great and awesome day with your fathers and those fathers, with your family today. Okay, so our topic for today is taking action despite fear. Okay, but before we go into the topic, let's introduce each one of us. So my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama. I work in the I live in Surrey, BC, Canada. I work in the movie industry, and I'm a digital business owner.
Should I go next?
Hello. My name is Jessie. I'm a nurse by professional. I live in Ontario, Canada, and I'm from Cuba. Also on a digital business owner. I'm also a digital business owner.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm originally from Kenya, but currently I'm living in Mexico. By profession, I'm a former hotelier, and currently I'm running this digital business.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Happy Father's Day. My name is Isabel Vargas. I'm originally from Mexico, living in the United States. I work for the school system as a teacher assistant, and I also own a digital business.
Okay, thank you, Melissa, Jesse, and Isabel. Okay, so again, the topic is taking action despite fear. So let's start with the first point about this topic. So start small and scale up. Yeah, so when you want to take action, but you have that fear, yeah, the best thing is to start small, like take little steps until you feel comfortable. So that way it will help you, to get that confidence to be able to do the taking the action. So yeah, so start small, and then as you go, little by little, you go up. I like one post from one of a friend in the business owner community. um it's like it's a stair going up the ladder, like a stair going up. And it's that's a very good example of that, because for for example, people that are afraid to go up the stairs, if you go one step at a time, at the end you're going to be able to get to the top. So that's the same thing, take action despite fear, in order to take action, you like if because of the fear you have to do little steps, so until you feel comfortable, and then as you go, you go to the next one and next one, and then eventually, you're going to be able to do to do that, and have that goal and reach that goal. Do you guys want to add something?
So yes. Happy Father's Day, anyways, to everyone that's watching you, all the fathers out there, and start small and scale. So when we're talking about this, we also referring our business. So we have different ways to start the business. So if you're a little bit afraid, you don't know if it is if this business is for you. You maybe want to start small. You want to, yes, start with a small amount, with a small I would say,
Investment.
yes, exactly. So when you do that, you can start getting your, we say, like, your feet on the water. You can see how the business actually really, when you um like put your business out, you can see how, like, a little bit what to spend on it. And then when you start seeing a little bit of results, so I start familiarizing with with the business world, you can say, oh, I'm going to go all the way in, but it will all depend. You cannot say that, oh, there are people out there that they're still afraid, but they go all the way in, and there are other ones, they're still afraid and they start small. So it doesn't matter which step you go in, as long as you take that step and don't stop your fear. Like, let's start in somewhere so we can start seeing results. That's what I would say. Um, and that you can do in different ways and in your daily life. If we're talking about the business, but we also can bring that to our normal life. I would say, when we say, start small, let's see if you need a change. like you need any problem with your health or anything, instead of taking like a 5 coffee a day, just go for three. Or get up from your where you are sitting and go for that small walk to can get some move in your body, or start exercising twice a week instead of every day until you get your body used to it, and then you can say I can exercise every day. So that's something that you can relate it when you say start small and then you can scale up, you can move your way up, because our dreams, we have, it's like when you have an idea, but that doesn't mean that's going to be your final answer. Your dream can be shaped in different ways. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
It's
And
with anything in life, when you're starting something, when you want to have a different path in your life, like in professional, personal, or anything in life, you have to start small and then scale up. Um, the best way is to have a list of things that you want to take care of that first week, or those first days. Like, make your list. Okay, today, like for the business, for example, like if you've seen our ad, you could say, okay, today I'm gonna register and watch the webinar. And then, the next day you can decide that you will have your 90 minutes to watch the whole webinar and try to understand what the business is about. And then the next step after that would be, to pay the membership fee, so you can get additional information and really see if this business is for you or not. So you have to start small, and then, when you take the time to process everything and understand it, that's when you're gonna decide and really find out if this is for you or not. Because otherwise, if you are inquiring about the business, or if you see the ad and you say, I want more information, but then you leave it at that, you don't take action after they reply to you and tell you, okay, you have to register to get more information, then you're never going to find out. You have nothing to lose. When we ask for the email, it's just to get you registered so you can receive the webinar. We're not doing anything with that. We don't use it for anything else. So there's nothing to fear. You have nothing to lose. It's as simple as that. And everything is in steps, that there's an order for everything, and you have to follow the steps. So we can't give you all the information when you inquire about the business, because it's a lot of information. And if we try to tell you, we may confuse you. It's easier if you watch the webinar, because it's explained step by step. And 90 minutes is a lot of time. I cannot, give you the information in a message when there's a 90-minute presentation for that. So it's easier if you just take the steps, follow the steps, and decide. Really, you have nothing to lose. All you got to do is follow the steps and see if this business is for you.
I like the way you said there's nothing to lose, because we know a journey of 1,000 steps starts with a single step. And our training is very comprehensive, and the journey begins when you watch the webinar. It starts from there. Then after you watch the webinar, if you have any questions that you need someone to help you, then there will always be someone who will be out there to help you and answer all the questions that you have, because you cannot get everything. We cannot write a message and explain everything. It has to start from somewhere. And I was just thinking of an example, even as children, when they are growing up, they just don't automatically grow. They need to start a little bit crawling, and then they start getting the confidence to stand up, and eventually they start walking. And all of us, actually, for us to be here, we started with small step. And how did we start with small step? It started us by first watching the webinar and getting to know what the business is all about, asking all the questions that we need to do. And after that, we took another step of getting the training. It's a very comprehensive training, but of course, also it's something that you break into steps by step. You have something that you focus every day. So I think for me in general, in life, whether it's in business, you just need to have that confidence. Don't overwhelm yourself to get everything to know on one day. I think it's not a reality. So and I know sometimes there's that excitement that you want to know everything in one day or at that moment, but when you think of it and sit down, when you take small steps, that's when you start getting the confidence. Yeah, so I think that's what I would share in regard to starting small and scaling up.
Yes, yes. I think it's the best way, start
Yeah.
small.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So embrace imperfection. So this one is another good one because like sometimes we try to be perfect or to do the things perfect, and when we try to do that, instead of taking action right away, we keep pushing it forward and forward and forward. So we have to embrace imperfection. Like the best way to do it is just start. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as you go and start, then like you can go and modify, and keep going. But at least that will help you to take action instead of waiting, okay, and this has to be perfect, because like if you wait for perfection, it's gonna take you a long time to take the action. um what else can I say about that? um so yeah, we have to change that mentality of being perfect, because we're humans, really. We're not like a robot who's perfect, almost perfect. So yeah, so embracing perfection that we have, because that imperfections is make us, like, um to do things that we didn't believe that we could do it, like, but because we were able to overcome that fear, and just do it, you know we are able to achieve the things that we wanted, and then we realize, like, okay, I was capable of doing that, instead of thinking, like, being perfect to do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
So
Sandy, something about this is you can't be perfect at something that you haven't practiced. So don't try to be perfect at the beginning, because there's no such thing. Nobody's going to be perfect at their first try.
mhm.
You have to practice and get better every time for you to perfect whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example that held me back for quite a bit, because I was so afraid to do an ad, for my business. And it kept the fear kept pushing me back, like, you're not going to do it right, you don't know how to do it, it's not going to be good. And I was so afraid to do it. Believe me, it held me back at least a couple of months, because I was so afraid to do this. And then, I'm not saying I can do a perfect act now, but at least I know that I can do one, and it doesn't hold me back anymore, because fear is just something that is trying to keep you in your comfort zone. It's trying to it's holding you from growing. That's what it's doing. So when you want to try doing your whatever wherever is it that you're trying to achieve in life, you got to try doing it. And every time you do a different one, it's gonna get better. It's maybe you're not at perfection yet, but at least it's gonna improve the way that you're doing things. So that's what I gotta say about perfection.
So yeah, when you're talking about imperfection, um just we are all humans. Like there is no out there someone perfect. There is nothing. Yes, we love perfection. We want to everything be right, but that's not reality. I would say that when I started this business, I was I want to before I start talking about the business, I did what I was thinking that I should have know everything about the business. you know and that's not true, because we're learning every day. We're learning something new every day. So that hold me for a little longer. I was like, no, no, no. I need to know everything about advertising. I need to know everything about our product. I need to know everything about the company that we are affiliated with. So it hold me back. That wasn't able, I wasn't able to reach many people I could at that time because I want to be perfect. And that's, like everything is changing. Like with all the advertising is changing right now with Facebook, Google. It's just a completely change. So you cannot be perfect. You can learn from your imperfections, but just focus. I would say to we give this advice. Just focus on the task. Like focus on the action.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a task, get it done. You know? And then when you get it done, you get the results, and then you can say, "Oh, I could have done it better this way." And you can get it perfectionated a little by step by step. You can get it perfect a little by little. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Like it's as long as you're doing and you're taking your step, you're completing the task. That's the main, the main goal. That's kind of my experience with the perfection. But yeah, every time there's someone's out there, oh, I need to be perfect. I understand them. I was the same. I want to be perfect in everything. But that's the thing. We always were thinking, well, I, I have a person that I'm talking to in the business. Well, I would do I'm really interested in the business, but right now it's not the perfect time
Mm-hmm.
because I have to. My kids are small, I want like yeah, like I understand. Like we all getting each person have their time, but if you want to have that perfect time to enter the business, is you're missing out, like just go and check it out and let's see, if it's not the time right now, you can, like, that's okay, but just to try to find that perfect time to enter a business, to own a business, it will never happen because things is going to happen every time. So yeah, that's what we say to the people out there, and that's the advice they give to this person.
Yeah, I agree with the what you say about waiting for the perfect time, because every time, like, something is gonna change, and then you're waiting for the next step. So never gonna take action. So yeah, I agree with you on that. You wanted to say something, Melissa?
Yeah. I was thinking about embracing imperfection is part of the learning curve. And
Mhm.
as you all said, there's no day you feel like this is the perfect time, like it's really perfect. Sometimes you always feel like something is still missing. But we always say, even before joining this business, you have all due respect to do your own research. If at least you have like 80% reasons why you see you should join the business and you still feel like the 20% is still not adding up, I think 80% is enough for you to give you the reasons, like, yeah, this is the time. Or rather, you can say that's the perfect time for you to try. Yeah. And I was also thinking, also in terms when you're learning something new for the first time, just accept it. You don't know it. So there's no way you'll try something for the first time and have that confidence that you know everything. So embracing imperfection is part of growth. It's part of growth. It's something that is going to build your confidence day by day. So it's just a matter of taking a leap of faith and just doing it. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
my take for that.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so before we go into the next question, we had a comment. Sorry. Yeah, a comment from Pat Keating. Good morning, Pat.
Good
Good
morning.
Hey,
morning,
Pat.
Pat.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day.
Father's
Day.
Day.
Okay, so the next one, focus on the process, not the outcome. Yeah, this one is true. Many times we tend to not even taking the steps is just thinking about the outcome, and that's the fear, like it made us, because we're like, are we gonna be able to do this? Are we capable to do this? Don't think about, like the outcome. Just start, and start working on it, like focus on the process, and then you're gonna be able to reach that goals. It's the same thing for, like our business, like right now we're starting the business, right? So our outcome is in the future, but in order to get to that goal that we want to get, we have to start working, little by little, focus on that process, until we get to there. So don't take, don't be afraid of what is going to be in the future. Don't think about the future, think about the present. And that's the same thing, like many times, like we are living in the future instead of living the moment, you know
Yes.
and you gotta live in the moment, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So if you start thinking in the future, you're going to miss out in the present. So focus on the present, and the future will come. So build out the present, and the future will come.
Sandy, you have to focus on the process and enjoy it. Every time, like this business that we're on, we learn something new every day, and if we focus on the process, we can enjoy and actually celebrate each thing that we're achieving, because we're learning so many things every day. And then, before we started the business, we knew nothing about, you know, advertising. We didn't know anything about doing our own content every day, interacting with our followers and just all these things. And not just that, everything that we learn in the training, everything we're learning from all our business partners from around the world, those are things that we can celebrate. And if we're only focused on the outcome, if we only have our mind in the end result, we're not going to be able to really enjoy everything that we're doing. Yes, we may not be getting any results at the beginning, but you still have to celebrate everything that you're learning and enjoy it, because at the end, if you only focus at the end, then you're going to be like, man, I wish I could have done this while back when I started. Actually take the time. Like, you need to take the time, embrace everything that's happening, and enjoy it and celebrate it, so that at the end, you can feel achieved and happy, and just for everything that you have done. This is a long journey, and yes, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be things that are not going to maybe make you happy every day. Learning, like, it can be overwhelming at times, but if you take time and actually decide the task that you want to do every day and make it into small tasks, daily, it's not so overwhelming. But if you're trying to do everything at once, then you're going to be overwhelmed, because you still have normal life going on, especially if you have a full-time job, if you have kids. There's a lot going on every day, plus you're going to be trying to run a business. But if you don't focus and divide it into small things that you can do, throughout the day or throughout the week, then you're going to be overwhelmed, and you're just going to be focused at the end result, and you're not going to be able to enjoy everything that you're doing daily in the business or in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, we always say that we always, it's a little bit contradictory, no? We always, when we're talking with someone that's interested in the business, we always ask them, what's your goal? We're always like, focus on that goals, and that goal, and make it happen. But also when we say that, yes, like, we already know the outcome, like, you already know where you want to be, but now you have to think about those steps to get to the outcome. So always celebrate those small steps, because you don't know if they're going to go back. And it's life. Like, life, it goes so fast in front of our eyes. Anything can change. Yeah, like, as Isabel say, may made us like, like, if you focus just on the, like we say, focus on the end result, but like if you completely focus at the end result, you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's right. You're going to get like overwork, because I don't know, you guys, like I work as a full time as a nurse, and I also doing the business, but I'm doing the business part time. It's a lot going on. You like, we all have life, we all have families, kids get sick, a family gets sick. Like, if you trying to do everything at once, is hard, and
Yeah.
it can be really bad, because can put you in a mindset that you cannot do things. So,
Yeah.
always like break down that goal. Okay, so I don't know. I would say that's what I do right now. I want to reach at least 20 people a week. When I say I want to reach, I say I want to talk to 20 people about this business. And there are different ways to do it. I'm not saying I want to do all of them in one day. Like, I give myself some grace. I give myself some time. I want 20 people to talk about the business. I want to tell them that this exists. I don't want them to say, I never say I want, like, get 20 people to join the business. It could be awesome. But, like, just make yourself, like, don't, owning a business is already hard. Like, we all want the end result, but like, take a step. Maybe there, it's okay. It's okay to let it loose a little bit, but you always, like, you believe on the process. Like, take your time. Learn, like, that's what our training is. Take your time on your training, so you can understand and really get going on the business. So we already know that the business works. We know the outcome. We all know what we want time freedom. We want financial freedom. That's what we all want. But now, how do we get there? you know so if you get a check, you get, um, someone is interested in the business, enjoy it. Like, celebrate that. Because that's part of also that you grow. That's part of your growth. Like, you're learning something. You're helping other person. So it's just a step by step, but enjoy it each step on your way. So that's the main thing. Don't I know that we always say focus on your goals, but like, yes, focus on your goal, but what are the steps to get to that goal? And
Yeah.
that's what will get you to that goal.
Exactly. So for me, when I think about the process, it's just like the way you've shared is enjoying the process. And how do you enjoy the process? Is basically the things that we've shared before, taking those small steps, because when you take those small steps, that's when you start building your confidence. When you also start building good habits, small good habits that are going to give you the confidence and the encouragement to help you keep moving forward. If you feel focusing on your business maybe for two hours is too much, then you need to sit down and think, okay, maybe I can start with 25 minutes, take a break, and then go back. Because if you focus maybe on 2 hours and it's not realistic to you, because we are different, you're gonna get overwhelmed, and that's where the problem starts. You start feeling like, okay, is this thing real? But probably there are things that actually you're doing that are making you feel the way you're feeling. So I would think, of course, there are many things to share about this. Building good habits, setting realistic goals, and also actually taking time to enjoy the process. I like it because all of you have shared this and said, enjoy the journey. Yeah, don't stress yourself. There's so much things to think about: life, family. You need to be there for your children. So you can't just put all your focus in one thing. So just be realistic, enjoy the process, and eventually, with confidence, you will see the outcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so the next point. So, taking action despite fear. So, how do you do that? By developing a routine. So, by being, like focus on on the process, by taking little steps and creating that consistency, you're gonna be able to overcome that fear, because like if you take a huge step, it's gonna be too overwhelmed, like you mentioned, Melissa. So just do, little by little, develop that consistency, like Jesse also mentioned, like, for example, like the exercising, you know, you do it like twice a week, until you create that routine, and then eventually you can increase, So little by little, by developing that routine, it will help you to start getting confidence in yourself. And then eventually you can push it a little bit more and a little bit more. And that's how you get to reach your goal. So yeah, so developing a routine will help you to take action despite that fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you can develop a routine, based on the task that you have to complete that week. Just break it down. Um, you have to create you have to create a routine. You have to create a schedule of the things that you want to complete that week. And if you don't have much time, like if you have small children, for example, sometimes it's hard to say, okay, today I'm going to work 2 hours, like 2 hours at once. That may not be achievable for you, because if you have small kids, something happens, they start crying, they need to eat, maybe they're ready for a nap. Maybe you're not going to have the time to spend 2 hours at once, but you have to develop a routine. And maybe the best time for you to work on your business or to work on the things that you are trying to achieve is doing it either first thing in the morning before the kids get up, or
Yeah.
do it late at night when the kids go to sleep. And when the kids are smaller, that they have at least an hour nap during the day, maybe that's the hour that you want to use to work on your business. It's just about, you know, having a set schedule and developing a routine, because once you have it developed, it's easy to maintain. When I started the business, I'm still working a full time, but I was working full time, and I felt overwhelmed with the training at the beginning, because I was like, I don't have enough time. Like, I felt like the day was so short, because I was like, okay, come home from work, pick up my son from school, take him to practice. Then I had to come home and do my cooking and, take care of the family. And then, by the time I had free time to start on the business, it was almost time to go to bed so I could get up early in the morning. But you have to find your times. We all have different times that we do our stuff. So after I found the perfect time, after I was done taking care of my family and before I went to bed, that's when I did my training and I worked on my business. Now that I already did the training, because I think when you're doing the training, it is a lot more than after you get done with it. Because after you get done with it, you can do 30 minutes, like early in the morning, after you get up and you do your morning routine. You can do 30 minutes for that. So you can do your posting, create your content, maybe get back with somebody that send you a message or whatever. But then, for example, me, I go to work, and then when I'm at work, I don't have time to really do my business, because I work in a school, I work with children, and so I have to be focused on them. And then after I get out of work, that's when I have more time to work on my business. So it just depends. You just have to develop something that works for you. We all have something different. So just find something that fits your schedule and fits your needs.
Yes. Here, when I am develop a routine, well, I would say, um, consistency build confidence. When you do something often, you 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 feel confident at it. So I don't know who say this. Like, if you read 2 pages a day, at the end of the year, you will have like 5 books already read or something like that, with a bag analogy. But like, it's just something take time. But how you get your body used to it, how you get your mind used to it, is because you make a routine. You know, you creating, as Isabel say, you're creating a schedule, you're creating task for yourself, and that's good because that means you're doing time management that we have talked in other lives too. That's it's really important as a business owner. When as a business owner, you have a responsibility to to the people that are contacting you. You have to develop that routine to answer the questions. When you have your team, you have to have their like time for them to answer questions, or do a live or whatever it is. um but this you get with the routine. You get little by little, as I will say before, and it's how you develop on it. Because if you do it, you will get good at it, and if you get good at it, you are confident. You're confident what you're doing because you're doing so often. There are people
Yeah.
out there that get to the point they're like typing. It's not me, but they're typing without looking while they're typing. It's not that true, but it's because they're doing frequently. So to get to the point, you're a master at it. So don't don't be hard on you when you are not as other people. Don't like take your time and just make sure you make your routine, because that's how you get better. Yeah, that's how you create discipline and on your business. And you can say, and you can put this on your life as well. You can make, if you do a small task and you make a routine, you will get better. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Jesse.
Welcome.
I was just thinking, most of the time when I meet professionals and I mention to them about this business, they always say they don't have time. And I was just thinking that all of us, we have time. It's just that in most cases, we have not developed a routine. And we think we have that mentality that for us to do something, we need to have a lot of time to do that thing. But in reality is that even if it's 10 minutes every day, that 10 minutes is going to accumulate. I'm thinking for 5 days, that 10 minutes is going to accumulate every day. And that's where time is. So it's all about managing your time effectively, having a routine, and believing in yourself. Like, it's possible. I can do this business. I have time. It's just that I have a mindset that I'm so busy that I don't have time. But in reality, is that probably what you need to do is just look at your daily routine and see how you need to improve yourself. Like the way Isabel said, if you're a busy mom, you have kids, probably you can wake up a little bit earlier and just focus on maybe 10, 20 minutes every day to focus on your business or that particular thing that you need to do. But then if you wake up the same time with the kids, then probably it's not going to be possible. You will see that you don't have time to do what you want to do. So it's all about developing a routine and seeing how you can manage your time effectively. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is going to help you to overcome fear and take the action. Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
one of the skills that we learn in the business too, time management. That's a big
Mhm.
thing. We have to get good at it. And the more you plan and you set your times to do whatever and you stick to it, then the better you get on it. So time management is a huge thing for most of us, because we always think that we don't have time, but really there's 24 hours in the day. What do you
Yeah.
do in those 24 hours? I mean, there's plenty of time. It's just the way that we're using time, doing non-productive things. So we just have to get better at what we do and what we're getting out of the day. We have to be productive and get um, the most out of our time. Every hour counts. So there's 24 hours. We can make it if we really want to make a change in our lives.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so taking action despite fear. So, How do we do that? By seeking support and accountability. So this is where like family and members of our community comes in place for this, because like um, sometimes we are fear because we don't know something, so we are afraid of taking that step, because like, are we going to be able to do this? I don't know how to do this, and we keep that fear keep us, like from starting, like Jessie was mentioned her experience, before. So by seeking support, so how do you seek support? Like, you ask either a friend or you ask your mentor, if we're talking about our online business, to be able to help you and get that confidence, like starting to build that confidence, and accountability. We do have, groups in our community where you can find accountability partners, someone who will be there with you all along your journey, to be able that you keep going and you don't fall back, behind, because your fear, or because you're not motivated, or you're down because something didn't happen as you plan on your business, so by having, like your mentor, your coach, your accountability partner, that really helps you to move forward and to overcome that fear, of going, like, and taking action, so it's important to have and to look for support, and and to look for help, to have that partner, like, you're gonna be my partner, and then we're gonna, try to push each other, so we're going into doing this together, as we go through.
Yeah, accountability partners is one of the things I enjoy most, having somebody there for you or having somebody for each other, because you are their accountability partner, they're your accountability partner. And so when you're feeling down, they're going to be there to cheer you up and to help you keep going. And the same way, for them. So I really like this amazing thing about the accountability partners, because even like Jesse was talking earlier about doing exercise, I have an accountability partner for the gym, because there's days where I'm like, I'm too tired today, I don't think I can do it, and they're like, oh yes, we're doing it. And so I don't have a choice but to go, because I already told them, that I would do it. And so whenever they say it's time to go, I gotta go. And I like it, because once I'm there, I'm like, I'm so glad I came and I did it. I pushed myself, and I got it done and out of the way. But the same happens here in the business. We have, like Sandy said, we have our business accountability partners, because if you don't have one, by the way, there's a chat that you can ask for one, and just work together, especially if you're at the same level, if you're like starting, or maybe you're starting and they're already up. Well, that works too, because they will help you overcome everything that you're going through with the training, and maybe they'll give you some tips on how to do better and stuff. So yes, I like having accountability partners and having support. Sometimes you need family support too, because I know I need support from my family a lot of times. When I'm doing work, when I'm doing my lives and all that, I'm like, can you guys please be quiet for an hour? I got work I gotta do, and so they know that they can't be around me making all these noises or talking or playing music or whatever. So just having somebody to support you, it just feels great, when your family understands you, and they know that you're working for the best of the family, and they're really there for you. That makes a difference too. So support and accountability is an important part of the business or in anything.
Yeah. So who wants to say?
Okay.
Anyone wants?
I like it the way they say you need to seek support and accountability, because I believe every entrepreneur should have a support system by the side, because being an entrepreneur it's not easy. There are times when you will feel overwhelmed. There are times where you will need to put in more focus on a project that you're doing. So it will reach at a point where either you feel your mind needs a break or you need someone to give you advice. And that's where the support system comes in. So support system, having your family be aware of what you think you're doing. As Isabel has said, you have family and you want to do your business and focus, and just let them know that I need this time to focus on this. And I know sometimes, even when you're starting off, you may feel like you really don't know. Although in our community we have support system, immediately you start. Uh, but even if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, you really don't see someone you can point at that moment, believe you me, there is always someone who can be there for you, even virtually, just reading or watching people who can motivate you and just give you that spark and energy back to do what you need to do to focus on that particular project that you're doing, or even just getting out there and networking with other fellow entrepreneurs who are doing something similar like you. In most cases you'll find that they've either gone through the challenge that you're going through, and it's at that moment where they will come in and encourage you because they have gone through it and they know. And that's when your energy gets back and you're able to focus. And also, I like the way you mentioned about also taking care of our health, our energy. You also don't want to be a workaholic. You're just working throughout and you're not taking care of your body, because if you're not taking care of your body, then it's going to be very, very hard. And that's when you might find yourself, you want to lose hope, start procrastinating on projects that you've started because your body is already tired and it needs to rest. So yes, I truly agree that having a support system and an accountability partner to help you in your journey as an entrepreneur is very, very important.
All right. I'm having some difficulties today, guys, with my internet, but we're back. So when we're talking about, I would say, when you start a business, you want to have support. Um, if anything that you start in your life, you want to have someone that can back you up.
Mhm.
So the good thing about that is, we have on this business and our on our marketing business, we have the support of the community. We have a really good community, and the two people that are ahead of us, they start all of this. They're focused. They have it really focused on helping each other, and that's the good part of that. But you also want to have support from your families, and even just surrounding yourself for people that have the same mindset that you have at the moment, like people that want to grow, people that want to succeed, people that want to help their family. With that, it will help it, when you're looking support. You're looking that the good part of the business, we have, like, I would call, we have like a, I would say, accountable partners.
Mhm.
It's something like that. It's something that we create, like someone that we hold to your standards. They say, I'm going to get a post, or I'm having some difficult with this, that person will help you at the moment. But that's a good part of our community. No, we just don't have one person, we have the whole community on all around the world. And we also want to tell our viewers and the people that are interested on the business, as soon as you start, you have a mentor, you have a coach, they will be there for you. Without a cost, like, it's not like you have to be paying them out of your pocket every time that you have a question, or every time that you need help. They are there for you. So that's the good part about this business we are proposing you. But having that support and that accountable, it will help you. Um it will help you to maintain your goals. It will help you to like keep on your path, so you can get where you want to be. So, despite of the fear, and despite of the, I would say, like, your emotions, if you have someone that will hold you accountable, it will be there for you. You know, like we tell you, hey, let's do this, or how you doing on this. You know, like you always want to have that support, have that someone that it will be there for you.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, so the next point is so taking action despite fear. So what you need to do, you need to accept and learn from failure. So this one is a good one. I can give you an example from my personal experience. You know, like I it was my first time doing advertising on YouTube, and I use a word that it has two meanings, but you know, like YouTube, the meaning that you know, like they thought that it was a word that we were not supposed to use. So to me, you know, when I received a notification from YouTube that you know my ad was uh, not approved, it was you know like it was like a lot for me, you know, because I was like, oh my god, I wanted to start my business, and now you know this happens. So I was a little bit disappointed. Um, but then you know what? Because of that, I learned to one, make sure you know like the word that I pick for my advertising doesn't have two meanings, you know. And two, I know, you know, if something happens like that for me again, I know what to do, you know, because at that point I didn't know what to do. So I was like asking everybody, you know, and finding out, you know, like what to do because, you know, I didn't know like um I didn't want I wanted to proceed, but I didn't know what were the steps that I needed to follow. So I asked the community within the community, and then a lot of members gave me some advice, and then I was able to proceed. So I learned from that failure, you know, that I had on my business. So it's not going to happen to me again, you know. Like I make sure, you know, like I don't. My word doesn't have two meanings, you know, that will, you know, restrain me from, you know, like advertising, and two, you know, like now I know what to do, you know, if that happens to me again. So yeah, so you know, accept and learn from failure. So don't stay there just like, okay, this is the end of the world, you know, I'm not gonna move forward. You know, um find solutions, you know, and keep going, you know, learn from that mistake, but make sure you don't make it you don't make it again, you know, and move on, you know. But that's the key, you know. And don't be afraid. It happens, you know, sometimes we do mistakes, but we just have to keep going and learn and make sure that we don't do it again.
Yeah.
So yes, Sandy, what you say is really, you know, like you it give you a learning opportunity. You know, you learn from you learn from your mistake, from your work. You know,
Yeah.
it's just think about that. Yeah, we all afraid to failure. You know, we no one want to failure, but just think about the failure as a step to get to your goals. You know, yeah, it's not good now, but I learned that I should not get that word in, you know. So now I'm going to use another one, and here I am, mine is working right now. So when I look at a failure, I'm looking as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn. um on life, on the business. The good part about the business, like I came in with this on the business. I didn't know nothing about business. You know, I did nothing about owning a business. So yes, I have made many failures. You know, I have made many mistakes, and that's the good thing about it. So now I know how to solve them, and I can help other people to do, like, you know, when they come in with the same path as me. They never have a business before, or they have any question. I know how to answer them now because I did the same thing. So, to everyone out there, just failure. Yeah. Oh, okay. It happened. It was a mistake, and just keep living, keep going. Like that doesn't mean you're going to stop, because if you just think about it, um, if they stopped when they were inventing light, we wouldn't have light right now, like electricity. You know how many times they probably failed? They probably didn't have that light coming on. We didn't have, like, we will not evolve. We will not have that end result. So yeah, it happened. So now you know. So get better next time. That's it. That's how that's my thinking of failure. Um, and that's how I embrace it. You know, okay. Yeah, I make a mistake, let's learn from it and let's move, so someone else can advance or get the, the the help for my failure. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Us as human beings, a lot of times we let fear holds us back. Sometimes we freeze when we have new things that we got to learn. We just freeze and we pretend that we're not going to think about it, and maybe if I don't think about it, it's not going to happen, and I'm going to avoid failing at this or not being good at it. But like I'll take the driving for example. When you're learning to drive, you don't know how to drive, and yes, when you start, you're not going to go straight the first time you take that wheel, and you take that car. You're not going to start smooth, and your first time you brake, you're not going to brake, really smooth, and oh god, I was a natural, I was good at it before I knew it. It doesn't happen. The same thing, when you're starting a new job anywhere, it doesn't matter. Maybe you went to school, maybe you have a diploma for whatever job is it that you have, but you don't have the skills. You don't have that because you learn everything in the process. So failure is part of the learning curve. You have to fail to be good at it. So every time you start something new, believe me when I tell you, you're gonna fail a couple times before you get good at it, and that's just part of life. So same thing with the business. A lot of times we get discouraged because maybe we don't see the results that we want, or maybe we don't understand the process of how things work. We're having some kind of difficulty with the training because we don't understand what they're asking and we don't know how to do it. So everything is a learning curve. There's stepping stones for you to keep walking in life. Every time you achieve something, you have to celebrate it and really be happy for it, because failure is gonna happen even when you don't think that. Sometimes we feel confident, okay, I'm going to be good at it, and because we think that we're so good at this, we overlook a simple thing that is going to make it not right. So we just have to be focused, we just have to have an open mind and really believe in ourselves, because that's the whole key. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve a lot of things in life. But you have to take action and you really have to decide, and commit. I'm going to start something and commit to it and actually do it and stick to it. Don't give up on your first try. And just because it wasn't what, sometimes we think things are going to be easy, but nothing worth having is easy. You have to put the effort in and you have to put the work in to get the things that you want. So failure is a normal thing in life. And if you're the type of person who doesn't like failure, or if you think that failure is going to make you look bad, then that's because you're comfortable in your comfort zone and you don't want to get out and do something different in your life. But yes, failure is just that. It's not the end of the world. You can overcome it with practice and determination.
Thank
Um,
you.
One thing that I have seen is that most successful people, uh, at some point, they failed, not even once, maybe
Many
twice
times.
or thrice, but they didn't give up, or they didn't allow anything to make them feel that they won't achieve what they want to achieve. Because when you have failed, I think at that moment is when you have a lot of noises coming in around your mind, making you feel like maybe I was not meant to do this. But even when you just Google and see how the people who who have succeeded, without mentioning their names, they failed so many times, and even as Isabel has said, just life is a matter of taking risks and just trying out. And either way, there are ways you can help yourself to build that confidence in case you are very so much afraid by taking small steps. Small steps, maybe you want to make an investment instead of putting in a lot of finances in your investment. You can start small and then see how your progress is going. Then from there, if things are going well, then you can continue investing more. So there's still ways we can learn from other people's failures and take it as part of the learning curve. And I always love to hear people's stories, even in our business communities. How many times they tried to do something and it didn't work, but they didn't give up. But eventually they got it. Just like even just giving the example of Sandy, you saw what went wrong, and now you became aware. I need to avoid this kind of like flag words when I'm doing my advertisement. And actually that is going to be something that you are going to encourage another person and tell them, hey, if you want to do your advertisement, be very careful, don't use this um, kind of words. So failure becomes as part of the learning curve, is part of actually giving encouragement and support to other people who are trying to do something that you tried before and sort of it didn't work, and actually you come in there as a support system to help them. Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so we have come to the end. So we're gonna do a little recap of what we talked today. So the topic was taking action despite fear. So we talk a little bit about starting small and scale up as we go. So take little steps, and then it will take you to where you wanna go. Um, so we also talk about embracing imperfection. You don't have to be perfect. Um, just do it. Like you have to. Um, to start and then forget about being so perfect, to have that perfect because um, we are humans, we're not perfect, and we just need to take action and go from there.
Mhm.
Um, so focus on the process, not the outcome. So again, um, like Jesse was saying, like, yes, we always mention about, reaching the goal, but at the same time, we have to focus on how to get there. This is our main focus. Take little steps now to that will get us to there. So don't think about already being there. Start by what I need to do in order to be there. And so uh, enjoy the present, enjoy every milestone that you reach during your process to take you there. I remember a good analogy from Armando in one of our lives, that he was saying that, the athletes, they were asking, what was the most important experience for them, if winning the gold medal or going to getting there. And for them, it wasn't to win the gold medal. It was the process that it took them
Mhm.
to be there and win that medal. So yeah. The other thing that we talked about was developing a routine. Yeah, consistency. Like taking, like creating a system, that will take you there. So creating that repetition, of something, that will help you to get to where you want, and at the same time will help you build that confidence that you need to overcome that fear and take action. We also seek support and accountability. This one is a major, especially on this online business, because
Mhm.
it will help you to have that support that you need, and like be able to build that confidence, because sometimes like we believe that we are not capable of doing something, but if you have someone who believes in you,
Mhm.
who are there for you, and teaching you and be able and helping you, to build that confidence, that's going to help you to reach your goal. And also, you have your accountability partners, who's going to be there with you along the way, and both of you are going to be helping each other, motivating each other and support each other. So you're going to go together, so that's a good thing that we have in our community, accountability partners, and the support from our community. And as Isabel was mentioned too, like we also have that support at home, when we do lives, like she was mentioning, talking to your family and um, telling them, like I need your assistance, because I'm gonna do a live. So if you can just keep it low, so the life goes smooth. So things like that, like the family support is also important. And then lastly, we talk about accept and learn from failures. So yeah, so we are humans. We do have failures, and but that doesn't mean that we have to stop there. We have to learn from it and move on. Just like Melissa was saying, like many successful people, um, they didn't get there, being perfect, and
Mhm.
go there. They had so many failures along the way, but that's what made them to be where they are today, because they grow from those failures, and they make sure that they didn't do it again, and that's where they are successful today. So I just want to invite you to follow us on our pages that are on the screen. It's kind of too small, but yeah, um, it's there on the screen right now. So if you can follow us and to learn a little bit more about us, and like about the business, the content that we post in our pages. And also we have our website that is on the screen. So you can register there with your name and email address, and we'll send you an invitation to learn more about the business. Well, you will learn about the business plan that we offer, and also, we have testimonials from members of our community. And on top of that, we also invite you to a private Facebook group where you see more members of our community who are having success on this business, and more material, about the business. So we want to thank all the viewers today, and those watching the replay later, uh, for tuning in and watching us today. And of course, we want to again say a happy birthday to all the fathers out there, and no fathers, but like they're like uncles, because they're like fathers too, because they have nieces or nephews. So happy birthday to all of you. Hope you have a nice time with your family and friends and all. So happy Father's Day. uh,
Happy Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day. Feliz Día de los Padres en
y feliz
español, en Spanish.
um, so until the next episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. Bye, everyone. See
Bye.
you next time. Enjoy
Bye.
your day.
Adios.
Adiós.
Adios.